talk with real talk. But this is the thing. I'm not going to do the whole interview. I'm going to do important parts of what Chris says in here that seems to be embellished or lying, and give you guys my opinion and try to use the best discernment I can, because even using the best discernment, he is a compulsive liar, and it is very, very difficult to sometimes thread through all of his BS. I want to start with this clip.
Was it your intent the whole time you were taking the girls out there that you were going to do that to them? Honestly,
it's like when I got there, I didn't think it was gonna, like, you talking about the tanks or just,
yeah, like, well, just,
I mean, I just thought process and all this, none of this makes sense. That's why I know you guys keep asking these questions, because it doesn't make sense to me.
But I guess, I mean, like, did you could have done it before you guys left.
I know.
And not
You could have done it before you guys left. I mean, I guess in her wording, it sounds like she's referring to he could have killed the girls before they left. But in some sense, I get she's speaking about another person. You could have done it before you guys left. I don't know. It was just, it stood out. When I first initially heard it, I heard you guys could have done it before you left. But that's not what Tammy stated. Tammy stated you could have done it before you guys left. I don't know. I think that it definitely raises an eyebrow. But let's continue.
Alive in the backseat. They could have been with Shanann in the backseat.
I didn't think about anything really, like, as far as, like, how everything was going to happen. I don't know, like, why it happened. Like, why I left everything out there in the field, and why, like, all this stuff. Like,
because he was going to start it all on fire and there would be no evidence. That's why he left everything there.
None of this makes sense at all.
He tries to make sure none of it does make sense. He's not trying to clear the air.
But to Tammy's point, did you think that they might be coming back, or did you know they wouldn't be coming back?
No, the whole trip out there, I mean, it was like I was on, like, I wasn't thinking. It was like,
I was on. Drugs? What's he referring to? He was on.
it's like in my mind right now, I'm thinking back, I'm hoping that I wasn't coherent enough to make that decision to where I knew I was going to kill my girl.
I'm hoping I wasn't coherent enough. You were or you weren't. It's not, you were hoping. So if you're hoping for that, you probably were coherent enough. See how it is so hard to use discernment with him? It's a guessing game.
I'm just hoping that, like no father would ever want to do anything to hurt his blood and flesh, but I did that, and I just don't understand how it happened. So, I mean, I even read books that say, like, no dad would ever do anything to hurt his children. It just happened.
I'm assuming those are books he read in prison. Because if he would have read those before, that would definitely show him thinking of harming his children. And then he's reading a book about not harming his children. Or about how fathers don't harm their children. I'm assuming it's a book from jail. Prison.
So I always think of myself, like, was I even a dad at one point?
What a weird statement. Was I a dad at one point? I don't know. Unfortunately, yes, you were the father.
It's just gonna take a long, long time to guilt and everything to get just the.
Have you asked for forgiveness from God?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It just takes a long time for me to forgive myself.
So, okay.
Was it
I don't know. He asking for forgiveness from God. To be completely free, you have to tell the whole truth. Here we go with some more weird talk.
Like, I never really saw my parents get like that when they left. It's kind of like, I don't know if it's like you're born that way.
Like your family doesn't show emotion like that? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like, my dad couldn't really speak at the sentencing hearing because he said he was kind of like, he said he was going to lose it. Like lose his emotions, like that really hit me.
Like.
Like that,
Like vulnerable?
Mm-hmm. But nobody's really ever seen me that way either. That's why, like, maybe I just.
Was it ever like you're a sissy if you're like that, or was it just something you just never did?
I never saw my dad cry, so maybe it's just something that was imprinted in my brain that maybe I should never cry. Maybe
Was your mom like a loving mom, like a doting mom, and would give you affection and hugs and kisses?
Oh yeah, she'd always like ask me like what was going on. Like she said I was always hard to read. She never knew what was going on.
But did she still try and give you affection even growing up?
Yeah, she always.
All he says is he raises his voice when he's talking about his mom being a loving mom. And then when she asks again about it, he does not answer the question about his mother. He begins to talk about his sister. So to me that indicates Cindy Watts wasn't the friendliest or the most compassionate. But he doesn't want to give her a bad name, so he says, yeah. And then he starts talking about his sister, because she, I think, played the mother figure role more than Cindy Watts did.
Always like what was going on. She's always open with me. It was always just, closed off. And she always wanted to know what was going on, like how I felt. And I just like, oh, okay. That's all I give her. Even if something was wrong, like I would have probably never said anything.
He's speaking of his sister, not his mother.
But I don't know if that just growing up that way just kept me that way. Deal with things on your own, but then they build up so much that you can't deal with them, and they take a hold of you never thought.
Yep, that's why they suggest counseling if you have issues. And yes, I've been through counseling. After my father passed.
I think as a result of just bottling up for so long.
Definitely.
What do you remember your dad saying at sentencing?
Okay, this last part. It's interesting. It's just a small clip. It's interesting. Let's play it.
Saying they forgive me and that, I'm still their son. No matter what.
Yep.
I know, like, even my attorneys told me, like, you need to show a little more emotion, because I guess the first time I went to the courtroom, I didn't know what to expect. I was still, like, new to everything, just in shock about what was going on, and they said I was just a cold person, just looking at it.
Okay, he has to be told that. He doesn't see that on his own. I mean, that is an indicator of Asperger's. It's an indicator. I'm not saying that he has it, but to not notice that you're being cold and callous, and someone has to tell you that's how you are, and you need to do this to not look like that, he's learning how to look and how to behave. He doesn't know how on his own. So I just thought it was really interesting that he said that. But back to the Tammy statement at the very beginning. I don't know, it just doesn't sit well with me. I feel like that she's speaking of another person that's there with him. Could be wrong. It's just my opinion. So, like, subscribe, share, or don't. See ya.